Over the last few years, cheating and hacking in Fortnite has become a real issue. Every cash cup seems to have one in the leaderboard somewhere, and the name Cronus Zen is basically a household name. It seemed like an unsolvable problem until now. Fortnite released Battle Royale in 2017 and it was an instant hit. It was a worldwide success, a global phenomenon, and it didn't just change Epic Games, it changed the entire gaming industry. Fortnite Battle Royale definitely wasn't the first game in history to be free to play by any means, but many that came before it were littered with frustrating pay-to-win microtransactions. Fortnite proved that a successful game can be free to play, constantly updated, and have longevity without your audience feeling robbed of their money. The developers could make money through having microtransactions for cosmetics that in no way impacted gameplay, and players had no requirement to purchase these in order to play. Marketing strategy really was genius, and it's no surprise that with the release of Fortnite, the valuation of Epic Games went from $825 million in 2012 to 10 years later, $32 billion, a multiplication of almost 40 times over a 10-year span. With $32 billion, I mean, you can buy the headquarters of the Queen Buckingham Palace 23 times, or the White House 80 times. If this sounds too good to be true, that's because it is. The free-to-play nature of the game does not come without any downsides. Not every player out there wants to play fair. Some want to cheat. Whether it's for cash, clout, or just to ruin other people's day, in any sport, esport, game, or job, there's always going to be those who break the rules. Honestly, for the first few years of the game's release, it would be really rare for the average person to even say they've seen a hacker in their game. You see, unlike Call of Duty Warzone, where it would be rare to find a player who's not seen a hacker, Fortnite's anti-cheat seemed to do a good job detecting the players who were hacking and banning them instantly, meaning that you would probably never see a hacker. But something happened in 2020. The hackers figured it out. They figured out how to aimbot and not get banned. They figured out how to work around the anti-cheat that would allow them to play multiple days, if not weeks or months, and never get banned. In-time updates would happen to the anti-cheat, they would evolve too and stay one step ahead. You may not have seen an obvious hacker in your game, but that doesn't mean you've never faced one. Not every cheater makes it so obvious. Some have wall hack where you can see players through walls. Some have ESP where additional information like HP is displayed above their head. Some have mild aimbot so that it's not so serious, called soft aim, and it makes them look like they have better aim than they actually do by increasing it by 10 to 20%. Some players have a toggle on aim where they're gonna guaranteed hit a shot that they only use when they need it. Some players use macros for picking up items, and there's even macros for doing high ground retakes, and some have all of the above. From mid-2020 onwards, it seemed like almost every tournament a hacker would be in the top 10, and then they would be banned retroactively once the tournament was over. Hackers would live stream themselves cheating in tournaments for clout, and the entire Fortnite scene took notice. These players would eventually get banned, but due to the free-to-play nature of the game, they could just create a new account, get it to level 15, that has now changed to 50 and 100, spend one day getting to Champions League in Arena, and compete again. The same hacker could compete, get banned, and be back to competing the next week just on a brand new account. These players also found ways to get around hardware bans, where players' PCs would be banned from accessing the games. Were these hackers stoppable? They could hack the game, avoid the anti-cheat, and even if they were caught, they have methods to create new accounts and continue the cycle. Well, Epic Games had a fantastic solution. Following suit from what a lot of other game developers have done recently, they started taking cheat providers to court. If they couldn't be stopped remotely, it was time to hire the best lawyers that $32 billion can afford and go to court. One case was resolved in May of this year, and so far it's the only case that the public knows about. Potentially there's many more in the works, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. The GameSpot article that looked into this case highlighted the main cheat provider, who I will just refer to as B, just to prevent people finding him, harassing him online. He's gone to court, he's absolutely had his punishment, but we'll come back to that in a little bit later. He created an item shop that resembled Fortnite's item shop, and in it he sold aimbots, limited time full access V-Buck accounts, and inactive accounts that included rare or popular skins with pre-completed battle passes, among other illegal offerings. The court documents showed 198 different types of sales on his PayPal, covering a variety of different illegal transactions. Who knows how many sales B made and how far his aimbot and other cheats have spread throughout the Fortnite community, but I'm guessing it's gone pretty far. Well, I'm no lawyer, but the relevant amount stated earlier in the assets shows a figure of just over 182,000 Australian dollars. Either this was the value of the lawsuit that Epic Games originally was looking to recover, or just the amount that B had in his assets at the time. But with the average cost of one of these cheats selling somewhere between $10 to $50 depending on what it was, we can make a rough estimate that B had sold somewhere between 4,000 to 10,000 different cheats, accounts, and other illegal offerings. And when you look at his audience and the fact that he had a TikTok account with almost 300,000 followers, I wouldn't really find this that hard to believe. The last thing everyone wants in Fortnite is rampant cheating. And with the massive uprising of the Cronus Zen over the last year, and more script sellers are appearing because of this, it feels like every YouTuber, competitive player, and even random fills in creative know what a Cronus Zen is, and it's become a real problem within the Fortnite scene. It's clear that something has to be done. If Epic Games was to win this case, which we'll come back to in a second, then not only would that immobilize one of the largest distributors of Fortnite cheats and sold accounts in the world, but it would also let others know that there's a lawsuit waiting for them too, stopping them from distributing aimbots, wall hacks, and yes, Cronus Zen scripts. This case could revolutionize Fortnite hackers and scare them to never cheat again, or to never sell cheats again. So what was the outcome, and what will happen to the hundreds, if not thousands, accounts that were sold by B? Epic Games and B managed to settle the case, and as part of the settlement, B had to publicly apologize on his social media platforms. B also had to pay damages, the total number of which was not shared publicly, but Epic has said that that money will all be donated to Child's Play, a charity for children and teenagers. The best part about this agreement is that B will be subject to legal restrictions that will prevent him from doing this again in the future, and if he breaks this, he will have to pay a fine to Epic Games, which I'm guessing they would also then donate to charity. So it's safe to say that B will never sell Fortnite cheats again, and hopefully others will learn from this case. The thing is, cheating in Fortnite has become an issue, but it's not the only obstacle that Epic Games has had to face in the development of Fortnite. The rapid acceleration of building and editing is something they've been trying to overcome for years, and this video right here will show you exactly that.